I'm joined by University of Central Oklahoma defensive back Jamori Ray. Jamori, thank you for taking time this afternoon to come on and talk to me. Could you start by telling the viewers and listeners out there a little bit about yourself?
Uh, I'm Jamori Ray from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Went to Union High School, played safety there. Now I'm playing corner at UCO now. A little bit about me.
And when people think of high school football in the state, Union's one of the first programs to come to mind. So, what was it like playing for such a storied and proud program like Union?
Mm, it's a lot of weight. You gotta perform. That's what it is. Like it's a lot. Like it's not easy. You playing against the best of the best in the state. 6A. You playing against a lot of players that potentially go D1. That's going to go play college football. So it's not easy.
So you mentioned that there's a lot of pressure that comes with it. So how did you kind of navigate and manage that?
Just control what I can control. Just do what I can do best, and let's let's see what the outcome could be.
And the backyard bowl, your rivalry with Jinx, that's one of the must watch games every year. As someone who's played in it, what is that atmosphere? What is that? What does that rivalry really mean? That Jinx Union rivalry?
It's crazy. The whole week leading up into it, the whole school, the whole entire state talking about it. It's just it's a crazy game from literally the start of the week to the last snap of the game. Like it's a lot. It's different.
And like what I mean, I because you always want to beat your rival and such, but like a win in that game, like I know there's a lot more to be played. The ultimate goal for Union and both those programs is a state championship, but like winning that game is big in its own right. So like, what's that feeling of like? I know there's pressure, but like, would you say that that's like the most pressure packed game of the season outside of like a playoff game?
By far. By far. Like that game it's like if you win or lose that, like if you win that game, they expect you to win state. If you lose that game, they still expect you to even go to state and to come back and win that game later on in the future, play them in state in the future. Like that game is a very that is up there in probably rivalry games.
That was crazy. Is you mentioned the expectation still is not only to still make a deep run, but then to eventually play them again. So like you're almost expectation is almost you're gonna play each other twice.
Yeah.
So like I mean that's kind of insane to most programs. Like I that's that, which just it says the caliber of the program. But like if that's the expectation, how are you all as players able to navigate that like each and every week?
Uh, we know to come in, we got to keep just stack days. You got to keep it coming in, working, whether we win that game or we lose that game. That we got to come in and work literally the next day.
And your senior year, you managed to earn all district, and you ended up making the state championship game. What kind of sticks out to you most about that season?
Um, what sticks out most? Mm, us probably playing Owasso, and then that game being like that close that it was because it was 7-10, and we had just lost to Jinx earlier that week. Well, yeah, that week before, and then we had got shut out, and then we just the next week we had a tough Owasso game, which had a whole team stacked full of players that went Division 1, and it was just like we beat them, and it was just like that was probably the one.
And Now, I know most UCO fans only know you as a corner. You mentioned you were a safety. Now, I've seen the highlights. I was after seeing you this year. It makes a lot more sense now the physical style of play. Because I know I shouldn't lie to you, man. You were like laying the wood on like 85% of those clips.
Yeah.
So now most defensive backs, they kind of go for the shoulder tackles. They try to hold people up to help people get there. You are like laying the lumber. So where does that physicality come from?
I don't know. I just like it's just throw my gotta make the tackle. Somebody gotta make it.
I mean, yeah, but like you're like laying guys out there. Like there's tackling and then there's like hit sticks, and I felt like the majority of clips I saw was hit sticks. Like
I know that's what a lot of people say.
Like most defensive backs don't hit that hard. So like I mean, I just. I mean, I guess that's just the way that you've always played the game, or like is that just
That's always how I've played since a youngin. You can ask anybody. I've always played hard, like just been playing, just always been out there, just playing, just having fun.
I mean, okay. I just as a fan, I enjoy it and respect it because a lot of defensive backs. I mean, we kind of saw it this year. Like not hate to call out Kobe, but like it's like so. I mean, I just it kind of took me aback by just like how many physical hits I was seeing out there. So like as a whole, when you look back on your high school career, like what kind of stands out to you the most?
Nothing really stands out to me the most. I mean, nothing too serious. I don't think I did anything too spectacular, especially coming from Union. Feel me? Got a lot of other people that's greater than me that came out of there.
The humbleness, yeah, I appreciate that. Most of those are left out of a bunch of things. See, okay, I appreciate that. Okay, so now your recruiting process, what was that experience like, and then how did you decide that UCO is where you wanted to play your college football?
Mine's a little bit different. I kind of shut the other coaches out and stuff like that, but I allowed UCO in because I mean, they was right down the street, and it was more like home. Like I'm an hour and 30 from home. Like I can go home whenever I want to. So it was just like UCO was honestly almost a real option for me.
Now that because there's new staff coming in, so there's a lot of unknown there. So like, what kind of? I know you mentioned that it felt like home, but like, what made it or makes it feel that way for you?
The guys around me, like everybody around me, it's like they're brothers. Everybody loves each other. Like I can call them for anything. So it really wasn't an option. Like I didn't second guess it for real like that.
And you were able to make an immediate impact as a true freshman, which is it's very hard to do at any level. So like, what was that jump up like from high school to college? Like, what was the biggest adjustment for you?
Biggest adjustment was they're not gonna stop for anybody. They're not gonna slow down. They're not gonna baby you. It's none of that. You're a grown man now. It is what it is. Like you got to go handle business now.
And like how long did it kind of take you to like get comfortable with that now kind of being the new reality?
Probably like the second month of the summer that I was here, the first year. That's when it really set in.
And yeah, I know because you joined the room. There was a lot of it was one of the most criticized units the year prior. There was a lot of unknown. There was a lot of new faces in that unit. So like first, what is that unit like from a like personality standpoint, because there seems to be dudes on the end of like Dylan Buckheit and Kobe who are kind of more like reserved, low key, and then there's more of like the Jonathan Mosleys, the Trayvon Craigs that aren't necessarily shy, especially Mosley and his stuff. So like, what kind of is how would you describe the defensive back room?
Comedians. They all comedians. Everybody's a comedian. Everybody got a different joke for a different day. Like somebody may come in and they might start ragging or something. I don't know. Like it's different every day.
So who's the funniest?
Who's the funniest? Who funniest? Ain't nobody really the funniest because everybody got their days. Like somebody may be getting on Monte, Kobe, or Wicks. It's just somebody's day.
Oh, okay. So that first college game, the first action you saw, they just walk me through what was that moment like? What was that experience like?
It was. I was nervous. I ain't gonna lie. I was nervous. I was like, dang, this is college. Like, it's gonna be different. Everybody, they're gonna be way more. I may get knocked off my, like, I don't know. Ain't no telling maybe what happened. But after I got my first hit, it was cool. I felt more comfortable. Felt more at home. Like, yeah, I belong here.
And when you mentioned getting comfortable, you're not only now you said it's college, so everything's different, but you're also changing positions. So I guess how did that position move from safety to corner come about, and how long did it take you to really get comfortable in your new position?
It took me almost a full year to get comfortable at the position, but it's been just steadily climbing. That's all I'm trying to do, trying to build every single day, trying to work on something new, whether if it's just attacking the ball more or my footwork, just trying something new every day. Whether if it doesn't work for me, switch it up, like just trying to grow as much as I can.
And how did that move come about, you going from safety to corner?
I told him, like, play corner. I know in order for me to play at the next level, I'm 5'9", 180 pounds. Ain't no real safeties that size no more. So it's like the best fit is move to corner and show them what I can do with my footwork.
And now, like that, I think that's the thing that might get overlooked. I mean, people think it's similar to receivers. It's like interchangeable. A corner can play safety, a safety can play corner. But there's like a lot more nuances that kind of go into that. So, like, what would you say is like the biggest difference, maybe like the biggest challenge in moving over from safety to corner?
The biggest difference and biggest challenge is I'm a lot more up close. Like every play, like I'm one-on-one almost every play. Like we play a lot of man, we play a lot of code 4, but it's way more technical. Like I need to have my footwork. Like my footwork needs to be right for me to be able to get it in and out of my breaks on time and be able to make a play on the ball for real. And then I'm looking at it from a different angle as well. Like I'm farther away from the ball. Like I don't get to see I'm only seeing half of the formation for real. And whereas I'm at safety where I can see the whole formation, I'm standing back there 10 to 12 yards comfortable. I get to just come down off the roof.
And because when I talked to Kobe, when I talked to Jalik, and I talked to Trayvon, like they mentioned, like you mentioned, being in a lot of man, like it's got to be a lonely feeling because like it's you and you only. Like if you mess up, there is nobody there. I mean, you have your safeties, but like there's really nobody there to kind of cover for you. So, like mentally, how do you kind of like prepare, knowing that like you have to be on your A game every play, And on the flip side, if there's a bust or you get beat, how do you kind of mentally get yourself ready for the next snap?
Um, I mean, how I get ready for the next snap is just like if I get beat, like I know everybody gonna have their days. Only thing I can do is say he got me that play. Let me get him on this next play. Let me make sure he don't catch a ball. Let me make sure he don't block me. Say something. Let me get a TFL next play. Let me try to make a play. Let me get my mind back right into this game. I forgot the other question. Can you ask me again?
Like, how do you prepare like weekly, knowing that it's going to just be you and the guy across from you for the vast majority of 4 quarters?
Oh, just watch film. Watch film over him. See how he act between every play. Like, is he the guy asking for the ball every play? Is he whining for the ball every play? Or is he going out there blocking every play? Like, is he changing his stance up? Like, I'm watching everything that I can see that's on film, study him, his body language, everything.
And now, like, did that aspect also change for you? What you were looking for in watching film when you were safety to watching film as a corner?
Mm, a little bit, because at safety, I was more focused on formations. What are they doing out of certain formations? What route combination I'm gonna get out of certain formations? Where I'm at corner, and I'm like his splits. I'm not really worried about the whole formation. I'm really, because we play a lot of men. I'm worried about my guy a lot of the time. So I'm sitting here watching him, who's gonna be on my side majority of the game. I'm studying them.
And coming into the season, when I talked to Coach McGuire and I talked to Coach Doral, they brought your name up several times unprovoked. So that put them like, okay, they're not telling me this for nothing. Like, there's something about this Jamori Ray guy that because I don't remember when exactly you signed. I feel like you weren't on the sign, like, on like when they signing day. You weren't. Yeah. So I had not seen you. So I really didn't know what to expect, but like the more I saw, the more I liked. I felt like, I don't know if you feel the same way. I felt like I saw improvements from every outing, and I felt like late in the season, especially against Kearney and Central Missouri, I think is when a lot of fans really got to see what you brought to the table. I remember watching that Kearney game. I was very impressed by you. I was very impressed by the physicality, by the willingness and form tackling that I saw. Like, what, as the season progressed, like, did you see yourself improving, and did the season kind of like meet your expectations?
Um, I did see myself improving every game when they just throw me out there and they was just like, "Hey, go play." Like, the more and the more they did that, the more and more I got confident going out there and just performing. And dang, I keep forgetting your question, your last question. My
You're
bad.
good. You're good. Did your freshman season kind of live up to the expectations that you had for it?
Uh, they did. They did. Like, honestly, just to be real, I didn't want to have no expectations going into the season, because I didn't want to set myself up. Because at the beginning of fall camp, I got dehydrated and I ended up in the hospital. So I was just like, I missed the first game, Mo West. I didn't get to travel that game. And then the next game, I finally got to travel. Well, we was actually, I think we at home, I think. I don't know. I can't really remember like that. But I really didn't put too much expectation on the game. I mean, the season, because I didn't want to set myself up and then get down on myself and then be mad that I didn't play, or something like that. I just wanted to just control what I control. If he put me out there, he's gonna play me. Hey, let's do it. Let's play.
And now, when okay, now you mentioned you was in the hospital there for dehydration. Like, so, like, during that time, like, was what was kind of going through your mind at that point? Like, did you think after that you probably would end up getting the red shirt? Like, what was that whole experience like for you?
Um, I didn't really think I was gonna get red shirted, but it was just like I was gonna get moved to the back burner. Like they was just gonna be, hey, it is with like he can't stay on top of his stuff. He can't even drink water every day. Like that's all I was thinking, that I was gonna be an unreliable guy for them.
And I think especially by game 11, the Central Missouri game, you had a forced fumble in that game. That's a pretty big play, and what was a 3-point win. Kind of like walk me through how you were able to force that fumble.
Uh, it was the I think it was the sack. Was it the sack?
It was a sack,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was like, he called me. He was like, "You're going on a blitz, no matter what." I think he called a cheat or something like that. And I was like, okay. He was like, "You better go make the play." And then Coach Sanders, he said, "Watch when he spin, because he's gonna try to spin out of there," which he did. And I just prepared myself for him to spin, tripped him up, and he put the ball on the ground.
And that, because now you don't get a lot of like corner type blitzes. Like I feel like when those are called, I mean, it's like almost feel like you kind of have to make something happen. So like knowing that you were able to make that play in such a meaningful game to help you all secure your first winning season, and I believe about 4 years or so. Like what was that feeling, knowing that you had a big impact, especially in sending um, guys like Trayvon out on a winning note?
It felt good, like, 'cause I knew it was going to lead into next season. Like, it wasn't just about this season. Like, it's bigger than that. Like, that's our first winning season, like you said, in the last 4 years. And it's just like, you got to make those plays. Like, in order to be a winning program, those are the type players that make those plays in those situations.
And so now you mentioned, because building towards this season, you guys wrapped up spring not too long ago. How did that go for you?
Spring went good. I think I can do something this season.
Are you seeing? Did you feel? Because I know you said that you didn't set any goals for the season. I was it the same for spring. You didn't have any concrete goals. You just wanted to go out there and continue to see improvements.
hmm That's my whole thing, is just trying to see improvements.
Okay. Okay. And now heading into fall camp, because again, I thought the defensive back unit. I thought they, looking back, I did see improvements. I saw, if I could look at what I saw towards the end of the season, the beginning of the season, I did feel like as a whole you all got better. You all returning still a good bulk of that core. Dylan, Raekwon, Mosley, Kobe, Monte. So like what kind of is you all's mindset now heading into this upcoming season?
Win every game. Win every single game. Like, we going out there to make plays. Like, it's nothing else to it.
And I know there's a new quarterbacks coach. His name now escapes me. Well, what has that transition like, going from, I think it was Coach Miller, to who you have now?
Coach Neal, it's different. Every coach is different. Like, he's chill, laid back. Like Coach Miller, he was gonna yell at you. Like, he was gonna cuss you out. He was gonna get up in your face. But Coach Neal, he just chill, laid back. That's it.
And what is it also like playing for Coach McGuire as well?
Uh, Coach McGuire, he's a chill coach. Like, he let us do us. Like, he let us have our own personalities. And that's what I like about him.
Um, what was I gonna say now? Now, you have any goals entering this season, or are you gonna just approach it like you did last year, with no expectation, with none at all?
Little expectation this time. I'm expecting myself to make more plays. Like when the ball's in the air, make more plays on the ball. A lot more tackles, a lot more playing time.
Okay. Now I do have to ask because I during the live stream I asked Jalik this. Now during that Northeastern State game, he had what should have been a pretty easy pick six there. I just as a unit, like how, because like that had to be like you don't really get those opportunities like that. I mean, he threw it was floated out in the flat. There was not a soul there.
He jumped it and everything. He was there perfectly on time. It hit him dead in his hands.
So like when that happened, and then I'm sure that came up in film session.
Oh yeah.
Like how bad did you all roast that man?
I don't think we did it too. I don't think we did him too bad because I think everybody had like a drop that game. Everybody was dropping on. I think I even dropped one or something like
that. It's great. I guess my final football related question for you is what can UCO fans expect to see out of Jamori Ray this upcoming season?
A lot of plays with my name being called. That's all I can say for
real. Okay. Well, before we get you out of here, we do this with all the new guests, kind of some more get to know you type questions. Your favorite sports team can be any sport.
I don't even watch sports. I don't even watch sports to be real with you.
So you just play it and then like that's
it. Like I mean, I watch like clips, but I don't cut on no game for real. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, let me go cut on this game. Like I may go to YouTube and just be skipping through the clips just to see like what happened, who won.
Okay. Then do you have a favorite defensive back? No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Oh, this is the first. Okay. Then that's a great segue into my next question, which is, what is your favorite hobby outside of football?
Hobby? I really don't do much. This was crazy. I don't do nothing. I don't ask anybody on the team. I don't do nothing.
It's like okay, like you don't play video games?
Nah, not really. I got a whole game. It's just so barely play it.
Okay, now is it a PlayStation or an Xbox?
Xbox.
Okay, now you are like the fourth person I have talked to literally in like 2 years that has said they're an Xbox person. I think it's you, it's Coach Curley, and it's Coach Adoro. And I think it's Mason Willingham. So there's 4 of you that are Xbox guys. So now why did you choose Xbox over the PlayStation?
It was cheaper. It was cheaper. I can't afford the P5 at the time. When I went for to go to the P4, I just bought the Xbox.
You know, I'm not mad at that. You're trying to be financially responsible. I can't hate on that. All right, okay, I understand. I get it. Let's see. Okay, your favorite musical artist?
Future.
Okay, now old Future or new Future?
Future. It don't matter. Future.
Now, do you have a favorite song by him?
Nah, he just coming through every song.
So you're telling me that you've never heard a single Future song that you just didn't vibe with?
Nah.
Man, you gotta be like his top fan in here. I mean, I feel like
I ain't gonna say top fan, but any song that I didn't listen to, like Turn on the Lights, like all them old songs, I still listen to.
Right. So I said so like so is his old stuff then better to you than his newer stuff? Because like that came out back when I was in high school. So and that was like 20 somewhere around between 2012, 2014.
See, I
So
was
like
elementary.
yeah, so like is his newer stuff hitting the same as his older stuff to you? It is. Okay.
Anytime I listen to them old songs, I immediately think back to third grade B.
Third grade. Bro, this man only listened to Future in third grade. I don't even know. Like I think third I remember when I was in elementary middle school, like Soldier Boy was like the biggest thing. Like Get Silly was the biggest thing. Right over here fucking
Yeah. you old.
You're talking about Future third grade, man. Dang, I really do feel old now. Oh man, that's tough. Okay. Let's see. Your favorite food.
Oh, chicken Alfredo.
Okay. Okay. There was someone else that was a pasta guy. I think it might be Peyton Scott. I think his was Alfredo. It was some kind of pasta. Okay.
Any pasta.
And pasta. Okay. Let's see. You have any pregame routines that you normally do?
Pre-game routines. Chicken Alfredo before. The night before. Right before, if I can. Chicken Alfredo usually. And then there ain't really no pregame.
Okay.
Probably like a pregame playlist or something. Yeah, that's about
Okay,
it.
now is the playlist, is it solely Future or do we have different artists on the playlist?
Nah, we do. We got a whole bunch of different artists, from rock and roll to anything.
Okay. Then that's a good way. So with this question too, then because I've asked this to almost everybody. I know the aux cord in the locker room, in the weight room, is not a place for the weak. I've heard they will like yank the phone off.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, then who would you say is the best on the aux cord?
Kozark, Trail, Kozark.
Okay.
He gonna come with some heat every time. Like I ain't gonna be mad if he hop on the aux.
Okay. Now, who would you say is the worst?
Jalik.
Okay.
Jalik. Not even gonna play with him.
No. Okay, so now wait a minute now, because I think when I interviewed Jalik, I think he mentioned he was he's like an old school R&B.
Yeah, he's old head. That's all he listens to.
So you're not vibing with the classics there?
Sometimes, but he'll try to play it before a game if he can. If you leave it up to Leak, I think he would. He would not be playing no young boy, none of that.
Okay, wait now because now I know it also was brought to my attention that when Hunter Largen is on the aux cord, it also is not an enjoyable time because he likes to play country. Now, given the option between Jalik's old school R&B and Hunter's country, which would you rather have?
Jalik.
Okay. Let's see. Now, in terms of gear, because I know Mosley claims he's the swaggiest player on the team. Would that be an accurate assessment? Probably right there.
We'll think about that one. Because sometimes I'm a subtle guy. Like I'm a subtle. I don't like do the arm bands. I don't do all that. I don't do the leg bands. I don't do the one leg sleeve. I don't do none of that. I don't do that.
Okay. Now I gotta sit down because Kobe Stevens, as a true freshman, had zero gear. I mean, absolute zero gear. Nothing. Then the man comes this year, and I see him in years. He's got his little town now, and
he got the sleeves.
Yeah. So you're not gonna, like you're not gonna expand the repertoire. You're gonna just still stick to the.
Nah. You see him in high school, the background. Nah. All I do is had a long towel. I do the wrist tape, short jersey with the. I'm keeping it simple.
Simple. Okay. Now, what was it? Now, there are, thanks to the COVID year, right? There's some older guys in that unit, specifically Raekwon and Dylan. Now, you were calling me old. Those guys aren't too far behind me. As a matter of fact, Raekwon is getting married here soon.
Yeah.
So, how is that dynamic? Like, you all kind of like tease them. Like, I know Peyton Scott said he's grandpa or whatever it is.
Yeah, we tease them. They get ragged on all the time. Ain't nobody safe. I get it. Everybody get it. Ain't nobody safe.
Oh, that DB unit just is tough.
Ain't nobody safe around here.
Oh man, it's tough. Oh, it's tough. I think what well, I think that's all I have for you, Mark. I appreciate you taking the time on a Saturday to come on and talk to me. I'm wishing you the best of luck the rest of the off season in the fall camp, and anytime you want to come back on, you're more than welcome to.
Now, anytime you want me back on, I'll come back on.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll try to make something happen then. Fall camp time, something to that effect there, like we did with Jalik. So, welcome. Well, I appreciate it, Jamori, and like I said, I'm wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you.